So Portland, Oregon has instituted a sidewalk camping ban.
I vote aye, and the ordinance is passed as amended.
Wednesday morning inside Portland's temporary council chambers, commissioners voted unanimously to make it illegal to camp on public property when shelter is available.
How this works is if there's basically room at the inn, you're not allowed to sleep on the sidewalk. They have these safe rest areas and these tiny home villages where if you're homeless, you can go stay there. And if those are all filled up, go ahead, pitch your tent on the sidewalk. We're going to see how the cleanup's going. Now, keep in mind, this is what it looked like in 2021. So let's go down there and check it out. About 3 years ago, we were in the middle of the pandemic here in Portland, Oregon, just like every place else. During that time, our homeless population blew up. I mean, it did in a lot of other cities, but for some reason, Portland got hit especially hard. One of the reasons for this is we have a pretty good network of ways to get help if you are on the streets. So that sort of served as a magnet for people that had been on the streets. They came to Portland, Oregon. Last year or so, Portland has kind of had enough. I mean, we all had enough before. It just got to the point where something had to be done. And that's what's going on right now. I am right now in one of the worst hit areas of the homeless situation from about 2 or 3 years ago. It's the Old Town area, Chinatown, whatever you want to call it. This place had tents on every single sidewalk, on every single block throughout this little area. Now, this was going on other places in Portland, Oregon, but this was the hardest hit. Right now, we're going to take a look and see what's changed and how much the city has improved and the things they've done to fix this situation. If you've been watching the news, you probably think right now that Portland is just still completely overrun with homeless. It's not. No more camping on the sidewalks. As you can tell from the people behind me, not everyone's got the memo. So you're probably wondering, why is that? Why don't we just have everyone off the street? Well, there's a lot to it. There's certain laws that the city has to follow that they're trying to fight in different courts where we have to leave people alone. The end result will hopefully be that we get these people the help they need and get them off the streets and help return this city to what it once was. So this is still the Old Town area. As you can see, there's no tents on this sidewalk. And I'm telling you, back in 2020, there would easily be, from right here, you would easily be able to see at least 5 or 6 tents. No lie. Bikes and all their trash and everything else like that. So this is an improvement. Now that area back there is near the Amtrak station, and for some reason, homeless people tend to stick around the Amtrak station and the bus stations. Don't know what that's all about. Maybe they're waiting for a free ticket to get out of town. Who knows? If they were, I'm sure the city would go down and give them tickets. There's one tent over there. 2 years ago, I was down here by the Chinese garden, and that whole sidewalk right there where the red car is was filled all the way to about that entrance of that gate. Just nothing but tents. And this side of the street too. Now, in front of me is where a lot of them will hang out because there's a good place to get help over here. I saw an article not too long ago, probably 2 years ago, where the lady that I guess runs this place, or one of the ladies, she was saying that every morning there was tents out here and it was ruining the business here. So the city had to do something about it, and they did, finally. Imagine that, another glass bus stop got broken down. Right up here, underneath this overpass, there was nothing but tents like 2 years ago, and then they put all these rocks here. Kind of hard to set up a tent when you got all these rocks here. There's one. This is, I did a short where I took, I got it off of Google Street View of this park over here and how many tents there were. I'll show that to you right here.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Ronnie. There's nothing good about this at all.
Nice size camp over there. So for the longest time, people that were living on the streets usually stayed underneath bridges, overpasses, things like that. Since the Occupy Wall Street people came in and they camped right in the parks and right on the sidewalk, it kind of gave people an idea where, hey, we could do that too. And not many people really thought buying a tent from REI was a good substitute for an apartment. But when the Occupy Wall Street people did it, all of a sudden a lot of the people that were living on the street said, hey, we could do it too. That's what spurred all this sidewalk camping. Before, if someone was camping on the sidewalk, they were just laying down on the cement. That was it. They were laying down right there on the cement. End of story. Now all of a sudden they got tents, and it makes it more, I wouldn't say accepted, but it makes it an easier choice than sleeping in a cardboard box or on the sidewalk just waiting for the rain to happen. This is another area that was really, really bad back in 2021, 2022. I see one guy over there. That's it. These are bubblers. They have them all over Portland. It's in case you get thirsty. Back in the day, for some reason, someone thought that if they put these around, men wouldn't be drinking as much whiskey. That was the theory originally. Now they're just kind of a relic and a piece of nostalgia. Yeah, you got to do this sometimes too. Get more pressure at some of them. I did it one time to get some water out of one, and a guy did it on the other one at the same time, and we both sprayed ourselves in the face by accident. We're idiots. So right behind me is the world famous Voodoo Donuts. A couple of years ago when I was here, brought some family here, it was like 2 homeless people right here. That whole little street down there was just filled with them. Now look. Nothing. Not bad. Not bad, Portland. It's looking a lot better. So across the street, there's 2 tents on the outside of that fence. During the peak of the homeless situation here in Portland, Oregon, that whole little corner was, I would say, no less than 40 tents. Just people living on top of each other in little tents like that. Now across there, it's right next to like this Life Help Center where they get a lot of their aid and stuff like that. So you'll always see homeless right here. So if you just look at this corner, it looks like nothing's changed. The good news is crime is down now in Portland, Oregon. I was just talking to a cop who didn't want to be on camera, and he said it's a lot less than it was, let's say, 2 years ago. Things have gotten a lot better, especially the downtown and the Old Town area. So there's only really one crime going on right now on this corner, and it's this over here. What the fuck, Chevron? Regular 549? Biodiesel 489? That's getting close to $6. What the f? I honestly remember when I wasn't going to pay $1.99 for a gallon of gas because I was offended. That was like 10 years ago. How are you doing? Miss America right there. It's Captain America's wife right there. Look at them pants. In there for like 5 minutes. So for a while there, this was one of those safe rest areas. For some reason, they closed it down, and now, back on the streets. Got a few down here. It used to be a great comedy club. So is Portland in perfect shape right now? Not by any stretch of the imagination. Has it gotten better from 2 years ago? I wouldn't say 100%, but absolutely, it has gotten a lot better since then. We'll see how the new camping ban works out in the coming months, but I think a month in, it's showing some promise. The rules on the camping ban are you're not allowed to sleep on the sidewalk or set up a tent on the sidewalk if they have available beds or available spots for you, let's say to put up your tent at one of these safe sleep zones or one of the shelters they have. If they have open spaces, you're not allowed. Now, if those spaces get filled up, they'll let people sleep on the sidewalk. Obviously, where else are you going to put them? That's all there is to it. But we'll see how it works out.